late evening, 10:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast in the United States of America. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. I'm outside walking my son, trying to get him to go to sleep. As you guys know, it's been a little harder on him ever since he got his stitches over his eye to fall asleep, so taking him out. We're doing a little walk here. I just loaded him up in his, I don't know, I guess you'd call it a stroller, and pushing him around. Yesterday he fell asleep, hoping for the same today. So we've had a pull down like we talked about earlier. Run, giving us new life, new opportunities. See if it comes back down to the symmetrical. I didn't think it was going to come down here, but you know, never say never, I suppose, because if that created an M right there, it is possible that it does pull down. We have an engulfing candle, so CFX, make sure you're watching that, just in case it tries to sneak down to that and make a triple bottom down there. So still think it's a tremendous play, but we're trying to find out where this bottom could be. Like I said earlier, we were talking about we could have a better than 2,000 point drop, and I told people not to get scared because I think we're going to have a reversal. And with the Fed coming out less than hawkish, I think that this is a very bullish time for crypto. It's just we have to have this liquidity dump like we talked about. It could even be into the weekend. So that is why I'm not positioned yet. I've talked about Polkadot. I got extended to 10.5% APY to stake it on Uphold. It took months on the waiting list, but I finally got offered it yesterday. So now I'm kicking it back and forth. Do I buy Run? Do I buy DOT? And the only reason I would buy Run over XRP is because I think it has a bigger move, personally. And then obviously Polkadot because of the staking. So that's where we're at right now. We've got Bitcoin. And anybody who was in the class tonight, 8 to 9 p.m., it was phenomenal. Did about a 52-minute class. I had to get out a tiny bit early because of my son, but everybody can understand he's dealing with a lot, as am I. And then, so that's why it's important to join Tom's Army for $9.99 a month, because you can get the exclusive Telegram. There's 264 people. It's a community of its own. You get a nice base to see what's actually going on. We got a lot of people that understand the charts. And then you get the classes Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. All I ask for $5. That's it. So if you were in the class, make sure you're paying it forward. I'm not going to seek you out unless I have to. So right now we got the 41,705 resistance in the area. We keep getting pulled back into the smaller symmetrical, which just in the short time frame, if it pulls back down like it looks like it wants to now, we're coming down to 37,300 area. And then we could break out after. But like I've been saying, we got pulled into a symmetrical triangle within a much larger symmetrical. So that's how we're looking right now. And then if we can break outside of this, we've got a much larger symmetrical that we can break up to the top to. But we've got to break out of this section first. That's the problem. So that's Bitcoin. XRP. Let's just load real quick. It's the same thing. XRP's within a symmetrical, within a much larger symmetrical. It's the downtrending resistance on this 1.5 month symmetrical is really messing with us. It's really knocking us down. So would I be surprised? Nope. We talked about X marks the spot at around 72.2. I can still see that happening if the market wants to correct a little bit before going up. And all that would mean is before we have a larger breakout, we're just going to fill the pattern out and then we would come up. You know, if we want to come up that high, we might only come up to 91 or 85. We don't know how high exactly we're going to go, but we do know we're going to have a bullish bounce once we finish out this smaller symmetrical triangle. That I do know. Make sure to hit that like button as well. I'm doing a lot to try to put this content out. Sometimes I'm very busy, but I find it very important to give you guys the content as I see it. And heck, what more can I say? I'm walking out with my son right now, and I'm still giving you the content. XLM seems to be in this falling wedge, falling channel. And I said if it's a falling wedge, it's going to tighten up like that. Or a downward symmetrical, like a bearish symmetrical triangle. But it can fall into a bearish wedge style. And once it gets to the corner, it should bust up. But it just, does it bust up at 16.6 or 10.8? I would think in this scenario, 16.6 would be the minimum, or the worst case scenario, because we would want it to bounce from there. But so that's what I'd be looking at from there. We're just trying to see where it stops here. Right now, we had support that didn't hold up at 19 cents. And then DGB. And you can see we're on a decided downtrend on DGB as well. But we're going to see if it falls into a wedge or like a descending triangle, which is what I was trying to say on the other one, on XLM, or is it just a channel that we're in? We're about to find this out right here, right now, because when it comes down, if it holds and pushes into this little descending triangle down here at about, you would stop at about 1311. But if this is like a channel, it's going to come all the way back down. So we're going to find out a lot here. Or we break out. We can break out of here as well, but it's going to be very difficult. So we need to really watch what Bitcoin's doing. The whole point of this update is we need to watch Bitcoin. A lot of these are on W's, but it looks like they're going to break down to the downside in the immediate short term, but in long term, it looks pretty bullish. For the, I would say, the 1 week looks bullish. The 1 day looks a little bearish. So let's get past this next 24, maybe even next 4 to 8 hours or 12 hours and see how we look tomorrow about close time when the futures ends up closing for the weekend. XRP Future Millionaire, hit that like button. Did my best to put this out, but I got to go back and do it myself.